Filling up the long form is always frustrating, especially if you're about to finish the form and you mistakenly refresh the browser. So to overcome this problem, we have to store our form in somewhere, but for this demo we'll be using local storage. So for the code part, we will be using two files, and in the index.html file, we will create a simple form and style it using Tailwind CSS. Since this video is not about how to style a form using Tailwind CSS, so we'll move to the JavaScript file, and in the JavaScript file, initially we'll grab the form from the DOM, and we will define a list of all the distinct form elements which we will be storing in a database. So we can see here we are not storing password because it is quite confidential data, and we'll define a function which will get all the fields from our form. So for this we will map over the form elements, and we will query select each form element from our form and return it, and we'll return these elements from our function. And we can see our function in action by executing that function in our console, and we could simply see that we have the list of node lists. So we have to flatten it to get all the elements, but again we can see that the result is the same because of the node list, and we have to convert this node list to array, and we can do that by wrapping the query selection by array.from, and we'll do the same thing again, but we can see all our inputs here. So now it is working. We'll define another function which will save our form in local storage. So for that we'll get all the form fields, and we'll loop through them, and on each element we'll attach an event listener of change which will set a new item in the local storage with the name as the name of the element and value to be its value. And we'll define another function which will restore our form after the refresh. So the step would be same, looping over each element and setting the value from the local storage using their name as their key, and we would execute these functions. And now we can see the code in action. Okay, we'll fill the form using form filler and refresh the page. See, our form is preserved. We'll do the same thing again and we'll refresh the page. We can still see that our form is preserved. So now, thank you.